Have you ever wondered how dots are added on the shoulder line of a back pattern? We're going to be seeing that today, which is day 9 of our 30 days pattern making challenge, which I call Decode That Pattern. This is Margaret Ofasia. You can call me Margaret, and I'm your coach. As always, now let me break down what we're going to be doing today. Today, we're going to see how to draft the back pattern using Helen Armstrong method. Going through this book and breaking it down for you to understand is another level entirely. And I hope you enjoyed this video. All right, follow me, let's go. Yes, let's kick off with that of the back. So right here now, I'm going ahead to draw the margin because I'm going to be drafting towards this side, towards the front side like this. So I've drawn the line here. This is now your center back line. Okay, the center of the back, the way we're measuring it, that is the line. So up here, you're also going to draw the margin here. But this time around, you're marking your across shoulder. My across shoulder for the back is 9 inches. So I'll find that point where 9 inches is, which is here. So this is what your shoulder, across shoulder. So I can say A shoulder. So this is across shoulder line, and this is your center back line. You know, we found where we stop here at the front. We're going to find where we are stopping here for the down part. Now you're going to mark your length, the back length that you took. For me, my back length is 15 inches. So you mark that point. That's where you'll be stopping. So where are you going to stop when you input these measurements? When you want to draw this line, where will you stop? This is where you now input your back arc. Back arc for me is 9.5, which is here. So you know that measurement you take for bust arc. So for back, it is called back arc. So I'll square up the line. So once you're done with that, so you're going to square this up to about 9 inches or 10 inches, depends. Just a guideline, just like what we did when we were doing that of the front. To make sure I have a straight line, I'll mark here also. Let's find the 9.5 here, so that my lines will be straight. So you can use broken lines to do that. So once you've found that, you've known where you stop here. So you also find a guideline for the shoulder side also. So you just to square up about 3 inches downward. So all of these are just guidelines that will help us when we are drafting. Once we're done with that, now we're going to kick off with the drafting. So the first thing I'm going to do, I'm not actually following the textbook the way it is written step by step. I just did my own decoding, and I'm going to be showing you that exactly. So for me, the first thing I'm going to do is to find my dart placement. Okay, my dart placement. So that placement for me is 3.5 inches. So I'll mark that. Take note of that point. Then you're going to come to the side line. Whatever you go for your side length, measure it and mark. So you know it's the same thing with the back. So that's 7 inches. So I'm marking from here upwards. So you mark from here upwards. That's 7 inches. 7 inches is here. So these 7 inches now come down by 1 inch. If you take out 1 inch from 7 inches, it is 6 inches, right? I'm going to be using this figure for this dart placement measurements for the length of the dart. But you'll be taking out 1 inch from it. So it becomes 6 inches. So which is around here. So I'm going to make sure I have 3.5 at that point, which I do. Then I'm going to square that line up. So square up like so. So after that, I'm going to do my dart intake immediately. Let me not just waste time. Now for the text, your dart intake is going to be 1.5. But if you're working for a small size, it says about 1 inch or 3/8 of an inch. Okay. For me, I'll be working with the 1.5 inches stated there. So you are going to divide the figure. So to divide, this is 1.5, right? Just place the edge of your tape on that point like this. Then you place the midpoint on the dart placement line. Then mark to your right to find the 1.5. Then mark to your left on the edge of the tape. Then you're going to square up like this. So once you're done with that, the next thing you're going to do is to find your waist arc measurements. Okay, so what is your waist arc for the back? So for me, my waist arc is 9 inches. So I'm going to be marking to find 9. Okay, which is here. Then remember we took 1.5 here, so you are replacing that 1.5 here. So after that replacement, you're going to redraw your line to meet your side line points here. So that's why I use broken lines here, because I know we are not done yet. So you connect, all right? So I'm going to reconnect this. So from the text, dots are usually not left this way. You come down a little bit, about 1/8 of an inch, and reconnect. So that's what I just did there. But it's usually reconnected with a curve, but I'm using my straight line though. So once you're done with that reconnection, we are done with this lower part. So let's work on the upper part now. So for the upper part, you are going to find your shoulder slope. So remember how we found shoulder slope? Shoulder slope goes from the center of the length here to the top. So you find what your shoulder slope for the back is. The shoulder slope for my back is 16 inches, which is here. So I'm going to make sure it touches this guideline here. So that's why you must have this guideline, okay? So make sure it touches there and you mark like this, okay? Then from here now, we're going to find our shoulder length. Shoulder length for this measurement is 6 inches. So from here, I'm going to find 6 inches while placing my tape on the edge like this. So which is this point. So you're going to connect like that. Okay. So once you're done finding your slope and the shoulder length, next thing is to find your neckline curve. So the back length, whatever your back length is, now is the time to put it on the center back line. So you measure the back length. So if you don't know how to take these measurements, go and check the day 6, part 1 and 2, where we talked about measurements required. So my back length is 14 inches. So you're going to be marking that. So yours can be ½ inch less or 1 inch or more than. So 14 inches is here. Square this line up to have a straight line and a guideline here. So I'm using a broken line first. Next is to connect. So get your curve ruler and connect like this. Okay, yeah. So that's quite simple, right? Now, in the drafting of this pattern, you can decide to add what is called the shoulder dart line at the back pattern if you prefer. So if you want to do that, this is what you do. This shoulder length now, you're going to come down by ½ of an inch. So once you come down by ½ of an inch, you square this inside. Like just place your ruler the way you've drawn it before, then continue the drawing to that ½ inch like that. Okay. So once you've gotten that, that means you're going to be removing it as a dart from this line. So how do you now take it out as a dart? You will measure this whole line now that stops here. Measure everything. Now I have 6.5. Find the midpoint of this 6.5. Okay. Connect it to this point. So after connecting, then take out this ½ inch as dart here. So I already started editing this video when I realized that some clips are frozen. I don't know, it's not just playing. Okay, I can hear myself, but it's not moving. So where it actually stopped is here, as you can see, where I was describing how to take the shoulder line dart. So what I did next is this. So after sharing the darts, 1/4 each, because I'm just taking ½ inch darts here. So 1/4 each to each side. Then I square it down to this point. So you're squaring 3 inches downward. Okay, 3 inches down. So after squaring the darts and drawing your dart legs, you're going to come up, like I said earlier, we don't leave our darts on the plane line. You come down about 1/8 of an inch, which is what I did here, and I squared it back to the line. So after that, the next thing we did was to find this dash line here. So this dark line is the across back, okay? The across back line. How do you find where this line is? You see this neckline to this waistline point, okay? You're going to measure it. You're going to take the measurement. So I have 14 inches. So you find the midpoint of 14 inches. For me, it is 7. Then you also divide this 7 again into 2 and here it is 3.5. So you're literally dividing this whole line into 4 places. Then what you have, you mark here. This is what I marked here. Okay. So from here, we're going to find our armhole. Let's continue. So the across back, which we'll call across chest for the front, it is across back now for the back. So across back is 8.5 inches, which is here. So once you mark that, you're going to square a line, just a guideline like we usually do. You know, we're coming all the way to this point to create the armhole, so you can do that all the way to that point here. So once you're done with that, you are going to get your curve and draw. So you want to make sure, remember that this is where our across back stops. Anything that makes you go inside, you have shortened that across back. So you want to make sure that the edge of the curve is passing through this point like this and not going inside. So it has to just pass through. Okay, and make sure it's connecting this. You know, this is our new line now. This dart intake we did here. So passing through like this, you draw. Yes. And we are done for the back. So by the time we sew, we'll know what we've done if it is accurate. So the next thing I'll do is to transfer this into my fabric. I'll transfer the front and the back to my fabric, sew it, then I'll show you in day 10 where you will see the outcome and judge for yourself. Now that you have learned how to draft your own back pattern using the Helen Armstrong method, and also in the process, learn how to include a shoulder line dart. This is your own challenge action. Go and draft your own pattern using your own body measurements. Do that of the back. Let us see how it looks like. Because in day 10, we're going to be seeing the final outcome of this front and back pattern that we have drafted using the Helen Armstrong method. If that is what you like to see, make sure you stay tuned in. And remember to give this video a thumbs up, share to friends, save to favorites, and give me a follow if you've not done that already. Like, you've not followed me already? Come on. Remember, we are here to sew, to slay, and to succeed. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.